Welcome back to our channels, Warriors. We are still growing. If you haven't had everybody that's sober, smash that subscribe button. Go ahead and have them smash it right now. First and foremost, let me give a shout out to all the patrons. As a matter of fact, real quick, let me give a shout out to those that blessed me on yesterday's live. Esquiel, JC, and if there's somebody missing, hit the comment section. Trust me, I move fast. I don't miss you on purpose, and I'll pin you to the top. Also, all the patrons, I love you. Believe me when I tell you, you're the heartbeat of this channel and the only thing keeping this going. Stay tuned for your well-deserved shout-out at the end. This episode right here, man, I didn't want to do it. But you guys spoke volumes. It almost seems like the videos that I don't want to speak about, they get the most views. And again, I'm not doing this for views. Trust me when I say that. Just like with that one sergeant that got busted for watching the child stuff online. I don't like to talk about it, right? But here we go. Prison guard held hostage, AR'd by inmate, sues Cdcr, calls for changes. Hector, have you seen this? Absolutely. Absolutely. A California corrections officer, a female, is sharing in her own words what she calls the worst night of her life. Katie Jackson, 40 years old, we're the same age, said an inmate repeatedly assaulted her at gunpoint for 4 hours while on the job at Sierra Conservation Center. All right, what's your take on this, Hector? Well, right off the top, I am in no way insinuating anything. Trust me, I am keeping this unbiased, level-headed, but let's look at the reality of things. Also, shout out to that lady, the CO. If you want to come on the Hector Bravo Unhinged podcast, right? And again, I'm not looking for views. If you want to tell your story to the audience that is the audience, there's your opportunity, right? Hector Bravo podcast at gmail.com. That night that all this went down, my phone was off the hook of telling me what was happening. Hey, Hector, there's some weird stuff happening right here, right now, man. We got ISU from everywhere. We got Sacramento from everywhere. We got SSU. We got everybody from everywhere. There's some weird stuff happening right here. And I'm like, oh, man, wonder what it is, right? Come to find out, an inmate by the name of Ransom, who has an R on his jacket, I believe, he was housed at Sierra Conservation Center. Now, here's the thing. Cdcr right now, you guys all know. You guys know right now, they are incompetent as a whole, right? The department is because of the failed leadership and management and administrators. That's a fact. I'm not even, again, unbiased. So it doesn't matter what type of incident happens. It's going to be a shit show. It can be a one-on-one fight with pepper spray, and they'll turn that into an excessive use of force and all kinds of allegations and complaints and investigations. So it doesn't matter what happens. It's going to be a mess, right? A disaster due to failed leadership. So when you have something like this that occurred where an inmate gained access to a control booth, right? Hector, what is a control booth and what does the prison look like? All right, for starters, I've never been to Jamestown, Sierra Conservation Center. Never worked there, never been there. I don't even know what level it is. I want to say they say it's a level 3. Level 3 is one step below level 4, max security, high security. Cesar Hernandez. Hector, are there killers in level 3? Yeah. Hector, are there staff assaults in level 3? Yeah. Is there massive riots in level 3? Yeah. I did a lot of time working on level 3 yards, GP, Centinela State Prison, Bravo Yard, and Alpha Yard, and Delta Yard, and Charlie Gym. Level 3s are no joke, okay? Inmate Ransom made his way into the control booth. Okay, what is in a control booth? Hector, do correctional officers on the floor, the ones that are interacting daily with the inmates, do they have lethal weapons, firearms, guns on them? Absolutely not. No way in hell. There will never be a gun on the floor. If that day happens, it's going to be a bad day, right? The guns are in the elevated positions, whether it be a gun tower out on the yard that is observing the rec yard, and you have a Mini 14 up there, chambered with a 223 caliber. Same thing as the military, 5.56. You have a handgun up there. Back in the day, it was a revolver, 38 special. Now it's a Glock 22, chambered in 40 caliber. Damn, Hector, you know your stuff. Yeah, well, it's the only thing I talk about on the internet is corrections. And a little bit of war stuff. Stay tuned for the upcoming documentary Grunt, airing on February 1st on a major streaming platform. We're less than 10 days away, fellas and ladies. You also have less lethal up there. 40 millimeter. 40 millimeter less lethal. It looks exactly like this. Actually, gold is Army high explosive. Actually, the gold tip. Anyways, this thing comes out and it hits you extremely hard. This is hard plastic. Hard plastic doesn't come out. This is a fake one. But imagine getting hit with wood or foam baton. Anyways, just giving you guys a little extra. But there's also a bunch of chemical agents up there too. There's a bunch of, there's all kinds of stuff up there, man. Most scary part is the guns, right? The guns. There's a radio up there. There's a control panel where you can open and close cell doors. There's buttons where you can open all the doors at the same time. You can open outside doors, the rotunda, the emergency doors if it's a 270 design on A section and C section. Dude, so I don't have to tell you how bad it is for an inmate to gain access to that, okay? It is extremely worst case scenario. You want to talk about worst case scenarios, that is the worst case scenario. You had a female working up there, third watch, I believe, which is 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. They do their count. At nighttime, an inmate is hiding in the laundry cart, inmate ransom. He allegedly disguises himself as a staff member, where in turn, the control booth officer lets him up inadvertently, pops him up, right? You can pop doors, goes up a flight of stairs, and you're in. You're freaking in, right? You're in. You made it. Now, I'm not insinuating anything, but there's 3 ways that this could have happened, right? Realistically is one, the story I just said, inmate disguises himself and inadvertently gets led up. That's one. Number 2 is somehow, some way, an inmate can gain access, gain entry by defeating security mechanisms, maybe picking locks, which is not feasible. Breaking the door down, which is also not feasible, right? But that's another way to breach their way up into the control booth. And the third way is the staff member could have possibly been having relationships with that inmate and voluntarily let him in. Hector, have you ever heard of that to happen? Yeah, motherfuckers. I've been around for 16 years, man. There was a female that I went to the academy with that I knew since elementary school. She went to Calipatria State Prison. From what I heard, she was letting the SNY inmate into the control booth so they could bump nasties. Nah, heck, that's outrageous. Fucking tell me about it, man. Now, again, I'm not insinuating that's what happened to this last female. What I'm telling you, there's 3 ways that the inmate can make it into a control booth. That's it. I don't see any other way he can teleport himself from point A to point B. There's no other way, right? Neutral. Damn, Hector, you're talking shit about that girl. Motherfuckers, I knew you guys were not emotionless enough to handle an adult conversation. Leave your emotions at the gate, man. Four hours. Oh, Hector, what happened to that chick from Calipat? Well, she eventually got fired, fell in love with the inmate, got on the visitors list because I looked up her name on the inmate's visitors list, and then moved in with the mom or some shit here in San Diego. Shout out to her. Fuck. Told you I didn't want to talk about this. Fucking told you I didn't want to talk about this, man. So now what you have is you have an inmate with the R suffix, level 3 killer type. He's up there with the guns. Oh my God. With a female staff member Oh my God. And what was reported over a 4-hour span, she was assaulted in the worst way possible, right? Oh my goodness. Now, what could have happened? What could have easily happened is he could have hit the alarm. There's alarms up there, personal alarm devices. The same alarms that you give the officer. You have to understand, the officers on the floor, they get their equipment from the control booth. That's where they get all their equipment. They put a chit on an equipment and they get it lowered down in a little homemade bucket or cell block 64 container on a rope. They could have hit an alarm, and as everybody responded, he could have just picked everybody off one by one with a Mini 14. Pah, center mass. Pah, dome shots. Pah, pah, pah. That's a semi-automatic rifle. Pah, pah. As fast as you pull the trigger, as fast as those bullets are coming out. Pah, 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 pah. Damn, Hector, that's horrible. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. At some point in time, she was able, this is all verbatim from her, right, to talk the inmate out of the control booth by agreeing to bring in dope and some other stuff, weapons, dope and weapons for him. He said, all right, thank you. That's all I wanted. He bounced. Again, man, she's more than welcome to come out onto the platform and speak and tell her story. Whole prison goes on lockdown. Everybody and their mom is involved. Sacramento, everybody's involved. It's bad, right? It's not good. They attempted to sweep it under the rug, but your boy Hector Bravo brought it to the fucking surface. Go ahead and sign up for the Patreon if you want to support this mission. Hit the link in the description below, because they would have never said nothing had I never said nothing. Hector, you don't know that. Oh, I know that. Oh, I know that. I've been forcing them to be honest, and they hate it. Well, Hector, they couldn't speak on it. It was under investigation. Again, if they did everything correctly, right, if they weren't such a shit show, they would be able to properly put out information, okay, without giving up details of investigations. Is it still currently under investigation? I can only assume 100%, absolutely yes. Now, Hector, what do you have to say about this former CO or current CO, because she's current, suing the department? Oh, I think it's absolutely brilliant. Right? Because she's capitalizing. What do you mean she's capitalizing? She was a victim of an assault. Whatever the situation was occurred up there, she has now sued the department. She has now taken the first step in litigation. And she has gotten her side of the story out first, right? They always say the one's quickest to the pen wins. So now, again, I don't know what happened in there. Whatever the outcome may be, let's say they want to get her in trouble for failing to perform her duties in a secure manner. She can't get in trouble anymore. She gave herself a way out. She sued. That would be strictly retaliation now and documented and evident. Again, CDCR is not the brightest, right? CDCR is not the brightest. Will she go back to work? I wouldn't. I don't think so. That's a wrap. She's done. She's sued the department for millions. Billions, probably. Millions. She's going to get paid. Would this have happened in the 1990s, Hector, when shit made sense? No, because you have level 3s and what I believe Jamestown might be a level 2 prison. And or that inmate might have been a level 4 on an override on a level 3. I can only assume because I know how the department works. That inmate probably should not have been at that prison in more ways than one. Just like there's a lot of inmates in certain prisons and certain yards, RJD, Badass Snoop, that should not be where they're at because of the documented enemies, the security level, the classification, and whatnot. So that's my spill on it, man. I'll touch bases later. Didn't want to talk about it. We'll see if that lady reaches out. She has no right to reach out. She doesn't want to. This is just an opportunity, you know. With that, love you guys. I love bringing you the unbiased truth. This episode is sponsored by the following patrons: Arturo, SJV, SJG, Scary Perry, Put a Work Order in, John Wick, Abuelita's Journey, Abuelita's Irma, Rodrigo Keep Pushing Forward, Giant Manhattan Pizza in Anaheim, go check them out, Jolene, Justina, Casas, It Is What It Is, Third Watch, Desert Warrior, James, Luis, Miguel, The Real Chit. Go check out The Real Chit on YouTube and subscribe. Justin, MC Countslip, Manuel, Lena, Jeremy, Frank, Roberto, Lilybutt209, all you pedophiles pretend to be gangster. 89 made me. You're a long way from Starbucks, homie. Ali, Terry, Ramiro de Leon, The Hound, Miss R. Milkers, Danners on my feet. La Primera Play at Your Own Risk 209. Chris Lesniak. I don't know. I'm not the regular. Big Shags at Westminster. Pachanga 209. Darlene from Santa Ana. F your mandates. Write me up. VSP Eddie. Sabatino. Earth. Blood. Operator. Adalberto. Mercenary Mindset. Any reason I can't hold you. Fontaine. Dixon. McCrary. Program Time. Carnalito. Treatment Not Time. And Force Fit. My Outdoor Activity. On to page number 2. Gigi. Vini Todavía Me La Pela. Santa Barbara County. Brother Matt at stateissuedcollection.com. Shut the F up and make it wink. A la verga 760. Miss Rod G Ride. Vote Newscomb out. The Prison Psychologist. Fuerte 84. Zeus. Michigan Wolverines. I have an 8-hour chrono. Put me out 6 self. AWOL like Monty. 1 bad yard pedal. Cherokee Cat. Raider 62. L. Eli Gerardo. Rigo SD. Pelon 1205. Who's doing the pipe? Denise. The real McCoy, not the fake McCoy. JB Smooth. The Pogan a 6-pack. CO. Calls the Sergeant. I need my KOPs. Ricardo. Maladjusted. Ragtops 5.0. Carmine the Pitbull. EOP Whisper, F your 602. Viva Mexico Cabrones. Watch out, Brody. Here comes Cody. That's right. La Reina, Winston, El Skid, the OG Hobie Cat, Lead with Love, Albert 12 on the dead homies. LT keeps it 100. Big Uso D. J.I. Esquiel, Nova, Linda, the retired CO, Marius onto page number 3. Robert, Chevelle 66. Hey girl, pop me up so I can give you some OJT. Subscribe to Correctional Officer Diaries and the homie Rags. If you have not already signed up for that Patreon, make sure you hit that link in the description below. That's one way to support this mission. Love you. Keep pushing forward.